Today we are going to be working on one of the teams from the previous, or not the previous, the second last video where I messed around with a bunch of different teams. We're going to be trying out one of those teams today and fully building it up. And that team is going to be the DPS Xilonen team. It shouldn't be too bad, but we will do a bit of work on it to make sure it is pretty good. So there isn't too much we really need to do for Xilonen and Farina. Farina we don't need to touch, she can just stay on Golden Troop. I know it isn't buffing damage, but it is fine. Even though I was using Genshin when we first messed around with her, I think Jean is going to be a better option for the time being because I do need that healing for Farina. And if we're going to run Goro on the Scroll of Heroes into City set, which I think even though it is not the best for him, I do have a whole set with defense and I don't have any of this set, as I said, so I can't really run that. I think that is going to be the best plan of action. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, Yunjin might actually be better in the long run, but I'm going to run Jean for the time being, just for the healing, so Farina can get fanfare stacks. Goro is like essential because he is doing a bunch of geo buffing. He helps with defense, he helps with geo damage. So let's have a look at all of the characters. I'm going to leave Xilonen until last because she is the main character for this team. I'm just going to sort out all the supports. As I said, Farina is sorted, don't need to worry about her. Jean isn't a level 80, but I have already farmed all of these. I am one short, so I probably actually could go get that, but I don't have any of these either. I don't really think it's too big of a deal. As long as I can get a good amount of attack on her, it doesn't really matter. As I said, she is just here for the healing. And then in terms of weapons, I think our best bet will either be Favonius or Skyward Blade. I'll probably just stick with Favonius because it's easy. In terms of Jean's talents, we are just going for burst healing, so I'm just going to level that burst up to 7. I could potentially go further, but level 7 will be good, I guess. There is a 4-piece Noblesse. She is at 1600 attack. That's okay for now. Could be better, but it's okay enough. So there's Jean sorted. As I said, I would like to get a level 90, but we are just missing a couple things. And I don't have any of those chunks, nor will I be able to get any very easily. Goro, I would like to get to his last ascension. Won't be able to go level 90 because I don't have the books for it, but I do want to go last ascension. So I think that shouldn't be too bad. We are just missing quite a few of them. These, which we can craft enough of, and these, which I need to go farm. So we'll get to that in a second. First, let's deal with your artifacts. I am going to, as I said, run you on this set. The 2-piece is pretty useless, but the 4-piece will be pretty decent. We get 12% elemental damage bonus for Geo as long as we do a Geo-related reaction, which is why I'm using Farina and using her little dudes to do damage, because then we get crystallized reactions with Geo and Hydro. So we are just going to basically steal all of Xilonen's pieces because they are the best. 1500 defense is meh. Now I would like a defense bow, but I don't think that's a thing. Then we also need to deal with your talents, which I'm going to need more of those for. Now that is basically everything, so weapons and artifacts. Let's go deal with his level. I'm going to start with the Sango Pearls, and then while I'm farming these, I will also go farm the Spectres. You know, I was actually just thinking that Artifact Strongbox is a thing, and I'm pretty sure the Husk set is in there. So I could actually, instead of running Goro on a kind of scuffed artifact set that might not be the best for him, I could actually go run him just on the Husk set like you should do. And in which case I wouldn't need Jean because I could run Yunjin and that would be better. And I wouldn't need Farina to do any of her damage because, you know, I don't need Hydro application, so I can still use Farina, just use her in her healing state instead. So she's still dealing with her fanfare herself. I don't really know, it'll just depend on whether I can get a good Husk set for Goro. I have a decent Noblesse set, so I can just throw that on Yunjin and that will work just fine. From the bit of research I've done into DPS Xilonen, while crit stats and attack are good, she does want a lot of defense because that's what all of the damage scales off of. So that's why I actually will be swapping her off the Mist Splitter onto a defense weapon. Because yes, the Mist Splitter is technically a better weapon. A defense weapon probably will be this one. I would like to use a signature, but we don't have that, and I will probably not get that. But that weapon will give us more defense so that we can hopefully do more damage as long as we can have a relatively decent crit ratio without having a crit weapon. Okay, there is all of the Spectres farmed and all of the Sango Pearls farmed. we are going to make sure we can get everything for Mr. Goro here. Shouldn't be a problem, but we will see. We need all of these. Okay, that's actually fine. We have way more than I thought. That's good. We're also going to need every single one of these, but that is definitely not a problem. We have plenty of those Geo chunks. So there we go. That is everything to get Goro max ascended. Then in terms of talents, we need a lot of these. Talent books might also be a problem, but we will deal with that when it becomes a problem. For the time being, let's get this lovely Goro here max ascended. Boom, there you go. I would like to level you up, but you don't have very many resources right now, so you can go to level 81. Next, talents, we would like to get both the skill and the burst up. I don't know which one I want to do more of. I think the skill by the looks of things. We're just going to get them up equally. I think they're both important. I don't really know. I've never used Goro before. This is literally the first time using Goro, so I'd assume we just ignore normal attack and work on skill and burst. Pretty similar to every other support character in the game. I now need more of these. And while I'm in here getting these, let's actually have a look at those artifacts I was talking about. So if we go in here, is the husk set in here? It is indeed. Okay, well, let's do a quick one of them. Let's look for defense. No, this is the first time I actually want defense. Yes, that's good. They look horrible, but when you realize that it's for a character that only wants defense and ER, then it looks less horrible. We will be able to go to level 6 there, and give me 1 second. Level 6 there. And then we are missing out on these. We can't craft any of them, and we don't have any of Signora's drops either. So level 6 will be fine for now. So now let's have a look at artifacts. I'm going to use as many pieces that are already level 20 as possible, because that is going to save on resources. And we're just looking for defense, maybe some offensive stats, because why not? We just want that the entire time. Maybe a little bit more crit rate as well for the Favonius. Okay, well there is Goro done. It's not like the best pieces I've ever seen, but they are okay. It puts him at a very nice 1,838 defense, which is okay. 48.2 crit rate is okay with 202 ER. Next we move on to Yun Jin. She is going to be running the Noblesse Obliged. Doesn't need to be incredible, it just needs to be half decent. There is a Noblesse Obliged. It's not great, but it is something. I definitely need to work on your talents. That is open today. Good. I will make a mental note of that to go farm that. Otherwise, you just need a couple more of them. Okay. And then we will throw Xilonen on a artifact set. Actually, let's do that now because I have stuff ready for her. So I'll throw her on that weapon because I think defense will be better than crit as long as we can get a decent crit ratio. We want the Obsidian Codex and we just want defense and crit. I guess that will work. It is not very good, but there is Obsidian Codex. Talent-wise, 688 will be good enough for now. She has 2,000 defense, 44 to 143. That 44 will go up to like 84 or something. So I could try to swap out the crit rate for a little bit more crit damage, which I can, and I get her more defense, so I'll do that. Now, that is 41 to 146. That 41 will go up to 81, 146. Yeah, it could be more crit damage, but I can't really do too much about that. So I guess I'm going to have to make do with that for now. I'm going to go quickly run this. Oh, it's Sunday. Okay. I should probably go farm everything, but I don't know what else other people need, so I don't really care. I'll just go farm these because I need them for Yun Jin. So let's go to Yun Jin now, wherever she's gone. There you go. Boom. Max ascended, level 81, there you go. And then we're going to go over to your burst and just level that up as far as we can, which by the looks of things is only going to be level 6. I could go further, but I don't have the Mora to go further. There is a defense weapon I could use, but I need these and I don't have any resin to farm them or Mora to level it up, so energy recharge works. So let's get this team rolling and see what damage we can do, because I'm pretty sure everyone's all built now. Xilonen is, you know, okay-ish stats. Could be a little bit better, but it is decent enough. Farina is just here for fanfare, and that's about it. Goro, again, could be better, but it is decent enough. Same goes for Yun Jin. She is definitely the least built, but that is fine. It's good enough. Let's see if we can do some big damage with Xilonen. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do rotation-wise, but let's have a look, shall we? 13,000. Burst does that 90,000? Oh my god. 18,000 there. 9,000 buffs ran off. We hit 9,000. Okay. We hit about 18k previously with the Farina, Goro, Yunjin. Let me get everyone's bursts up and see what we do with Jean and Farina. And Goro running the Scroll of Hero of Cinder City. I see 10ks, 10ks, 12ks, 16k. Burst does 51k. Yeah, okay. I think it was much, much less. That looked a lot less than the other team. So I will swap everyone back to what they were previously. There is probably a way I could make this better. So if you do know a way to make this better, please let me know. This is just the best I've got for now with the builds and artifacts and stuff I can do at the moment. Okay, let's try this again properly. We are now using the crit damage weapon because I want to see how that compares. Stat-wise, Xilonen is down to 1600 defense, but she is up to 190 crit damage. So we'll see how this compares to the defense weapon. And we are seeing about 19,000, 13,000, 15,000 off that. If we do our lovely burst, we see 51,000, 36,000. Okay, I'm pretty sure the defense weapon did do more damage. So maybe this would be a good option for a Abyss team, although we are sacrificing Farina. I could probably substitute Farina out for someone else if I was running an Abyss. I don't know who I could substitute her out for, so let me know if there is a character I could use instead of Farina for this team, just so I can use her for my other team, which basically requires Farina. So I guess for the last damage test of the day, let's go try out this dude with both the crit damage and the defense weapon. Okay, well, let's see how this does. If we do a nice rotation there, we do that, and we do your burst, boom, 64,000. I'm sort of just looking at burst damage now because that's the easiest to tell. But 64,000 from the defense weapon. And we're doing, I think, 16,000 in terms of the normal attack damage. So let's quickly swap this back over to this. Boom, boom, there we go. Okay, now we try out with the crit damage weapon. And we'll see if this does more or less than 64,000. Let's see what this does. Nice 3 hits there and burst. Boom. 63,000. So basically the same damage, which is what I said before. It does very, very, very similar damage. So it's just going to be up to whatever one works better, I guess. And I'm not really too sure because as you just saw, they perform basically the same. So yeah, let me know if that's a one you'd recommend over the other, but I kind of feel like they're both pretty good. I mean, the only reason I'd really pick one over the other, I guess, is if I fix her crit ratio with artifacts and she's at a higher crit damage running the defense, or the other way around, if I get more defense with the crit weapon, or if I get more crit with the defense weapon, then I'll use the other one. If I get her with the same amount of defense that she has with the defense weapon while still keeping the 190 crit damage, that would be nice, but I need some really good pieces for that, and I just don't have that kind of quality of pieces. But that does perform quite well. We're hitting 64,000 3 times off the burst, 192,000 off the burst. Not bad whatsoever, to be fair. That's really good. If we can change this attack piece to defense, we'll probably hit like a grand total of 200,000 off the burst. But overall, Xilonen is doing about the same damage as Raiden, which is really nice. So with a better build and spend more effort on her, you know, put the same amount of effort I spent into Raiden on Xilonen, we can definitely get a good second team going here. Farina is just a problem because I need her on both teams. So either I can substitute someone else for Farina in this team, or I can substitute someone else for Farina in like this team, which I probably could. I could run an Overload Raiden, but I'm kind of waiting for C6 Chevreuse to do that. But yeah, with that being said, that is all I'm going to have time for today. We got some good progress done. I'm very happy. Xilonen is doing big damage. This team is very, very fun. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you liked the video, go check out the last time we turned a character that's not really supposed to be a DPS into a DPS. And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.